too. So, hi everybody. My name is Keith Feltry, co-founder of Hockey New Jersey, along with Dennis Rupi. I'd like to welcome everyone to this webinar where we're excited to talk about our collaboration with Belleville. Before we do so, I'd like just to read a quick disclaimer regarding the webinar. Obviously, this is being presented virtually, but it is being recorded, so you can watch it again on our website, hockeynj.com, or share with a friend who may be interested and maybe couldn't make it tonight. You will be muted throughout the presentation, but can submit questions by clicking on the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. We will address any questions at the end. We hope at the conclusion of this session, you will register your child for the hockey season by going to hockeynj.com if you have not done so already. Thank you. Albert, you can go to the next slide. So about hockey in New Jersey, right? Why are we all here? A little bit about myself. Again, my name is Keith Feltry. My full-time job now is a supervisor of athletics for the Newark Board of Education. But most importantly, I grew up in Belleville. I grew up on Smallwood Avenue, attended number 10 elementary school, went to Belleville Middle School, and I'm a proud graduate of Belleville High School. And tell you a little bit more about how this whole thing came to be, which is hockey in New Jersey. Pre-2009, 2001, I was working in New York City in a sales job like Dennis. Worked for the Daily News in a marketing department. Was making pretty good money for a young kid. Liked my job, didn't love it. Actually, I didn't like it that much. Who am I kidding? I really didn't like my job that much. But the money was good, right? So 9/11 happened. I think everyone's life changed that day dramatically in one way or another. And I realized I wanted to be doing more, something that was more, I guess, something that filled my passion, if you will. And that was hockey. I loved hockey since I'm a little kid. Played street hockey all the time at number 10 school. Played college hockey with Dennis at William Patterson University. And so what Dennis and I both did is took our money out of our 401ks and went back to school to get a degree. As we were doing that, we received a phone call from an athletic director in Newark who I happened to know, and he told me there was a high school hockey team in Newark that they couldn't find a single person in the state to coach. So there wasn't a lot of competition. They asked me to go down there and interview for the job, really have a conversation. And Dennis and I both did. And we told them we'd take the job. We figured we'd do it for a year, have some fun with these kids. But we were in for a rude awakening. Nothing could have prepared us for what we were going to face that year, which was kids had no equipment. They had no jerseys. Most of the kids couldn't skate. In fact, we only started with 5 kids. We ended the year with 10 kids. They were truly the bad news bears of hockey in the state of New Jersey. They got mercy ruled every game that year, never got to the third period, which means when you get mercy ruled, you lose by 10 goals and they stop the game after the second period. Some of the things that were said to those kids, both on and off the ice, didn't sit well with Dennis and myself. It was, to put it nicely, disgusting. And it really lit a passion within Dennis and myself to tell those kids, you'll never be embarrassed like that again. And what we thought was a job that we take for a year turned out to be a 20-year passion project for us. Dennis and I both started out special need teachers. Dennis is still a special needs teacher at Eastside High School. Again, I work for the Newark Board of Education. And here we are 20 years later. We were told no kids from the inner city, no kids from the city would want to play hockey. Well, I'm proud to say that not only are we in Newark, but we're also in 5 cities now: Jersey City, Englewood, Montclair, Belleville. Obviously, Belleville has a special place in my heart because I grew up there. And throughout these 20 years, we have incredible partners that have jumped on board and said, wow, what you guys are doing is special. And we want to get on board with that. So some of our partners, our biggest partners, New Jersey Devils and the National Hockey League's Hockey's for Everyone initiative. In a nutshell, what we try to do is break down barriers to playing hockey by providing participants the opportunity to try it at no cost. I know, and I've spoken to some of you, and for me too, as a dad of 4, hockey's super expensive. It's it's not easy just to go spend $1,000 on equipment and not even know if your child will like it. It's not easy to go shell out thousands of dollars for a learn to play program. The sports somehow has become upside down. If you know anything about the history of the game, it really was the farmers in Canada that played in their backyards, and there were people who didn't have all the wealth in the world. So I like to think our program is a throwback and really represents what hockey really should be. Onto that, after all the stories I just told you, After all 20 years of work, we are now the second largest youth diversity hockey program in the United States of America, which we couldn't be more proud of. Go ahead, Albert. Here's some of our numbers. I'm not going to go through all the numbers. You can glance at it. Two things we're most proud of is we currently have 1,000 plus current participants. We're going to blow those numbers out of the water after these registrations. And we had 5,000 kids come through this program at some time through 2003 on. Go ahead, Albert. So what makes us unique? Our mission, most importantly, our mission statement is to inspire youth to develop life skills, succeed academically, and create positive relationships throughout the sport of hockey. So we all see mission statements, but what does that mean? How does that hit me here? Well, we're here to help develop well-rounded individuals through 3 required components, and they're all equally important. The first being hockey training. That hockey's the hook. That's how we get them, right? That's how we get them to find their passion. We're going to offer academic supports and enrichment programming, which you'll hear more about tonight, that Dennis will go over. We have a full-time hockey manager. We have a part-time academic coordinator, and we have a full team behind us trying to create as many opportunities as you possibly can for your kids. You can skip, Albert. Why play hockey? Obviously, the physical fitness part of it, right? It's great for kids just to get out there and play. Teamwork. I don't know. There's something about hockey, whether it's the locker room, the way it's set up, or just falling down on your butt 30 times and another kid trying to help you up and you falling together and laughing. Hockey's a sport where not one man or one woman can do it on their own. It takes all 5 skaters on the ice to have success. And it's definitely, I think, just a team first attitude always with hockey. Discipline. The big thing with Dennis and I, especially when we started in Newark, was you had to be here. You had to commit to it. You couldn't come and go as you please. So we're going to check your child's attendance. We're going to collect report cards. They have to be doing the right thing off the ice in order to reap the benefits on the ice. And last but not least, anyone who's involved with sports, I'm sure, can agree with this statement. I think sometimes youth sports has gone a little bit too crazy, a little too serious. It's the all year round baseball player, the all year round basketball player. I mean, that's great. Love the sport, but at the end of the day, we want your child to come back and say, I cannot wait to do that tomorrow. I cannot wait to wake up and go. We want them to be more excited tomorrow as they were today. Go ahead, Albert. So Dennis is going to touch on some of the Belleville programming. And then, I'll probably speak 1 or 2 more times, and we're just excited to share this awesome program with you. Go ahead, Dennis.
Thanks, Keith. Always does a great job. And thanks to Keith, I know a lot of Belleville people as well now. So all great people. Love it that we're here in Belleville again, and we're relaunching the program in Belleville because we were there before for a year, and then COVID happened, and we had to take a step back, and we're very excited to get there again and make this bigger and better than ever. So just a reminder, if you have any questions, please type it in the chat. We'll answer all the questions at the end, whether it's regarding hockey programming or academic programming or just anything else. As I saw, somebody wanted to know if Veltri was related to the Veltris in Nutley. He'll get to that later. So my name's Dennis Rupi. Keith and I, like he said, we co-founded this program 20 years ago. We're going on to our 21st season, and we're able to do that long because hockey is our passion. I was able to play hockey from the time I was 4 years old. Very lucky to come from a hockey family. Because of that passion I had for the sport, I want to do better in school. I wanted to excel at it. I really took hockey was my inspiration, my motivation, and it was the reason why I wanted to get to college someday. I wanted to play sports, and obviously do it as a profession too. That's what you want usually as a kid. And although we didn't do that, Keith and I, we didn't make professional sports. We get to do this all the time, be involved in ice hockey, and it's truly a pleasure to do it. We're honored to be part of people. The start of a passion possibly for their kids to also get soft skills, like knowing how to work as a team, work discipline, hard work, just overcoming adversity, which happens in sports. There's so many skills you can get from a team sport, and we know that as educators, and we can try to combine what we're doing as educators as well as people who are passionate about this sport and allow a kid to become a very well-rounded person, not just athletically, but academically and socially, emotionally as well. So I'm going to start getting into our programming here. But before I do, like Keith said, we were able to hire a full-time hockey manager of hockey operations. His name is Albert Gregorio. He played goalie in college. He played hockey his whole life. He also volunteered with our program for 7 years before becoming our full-time hockey manager. And we're very proud to have him because his heart's in the right place. His values align with all of our values. And you'll be hearing from him at the end of our program. So I'm looking forward to our managing and organizing the program this year for all of our kids. So if you look into our screen there and you see our hockey programming, I'm going to start on the second bullet in the red box there, and it says ball hockey. So we are going to offer ball hockey in Belleville, and it's going to happen at the Friendly House, the Belleville Friendly House, which you see up on top on 21 Frederick Street in Belleville. What really the ball hockey program is a great place to be introduced to hockey in general. Hockey is a tough sport as far as learning the new motor skill. Ice skating is not natural for most people. So we do teach everybody how to ice skate in our Learn to Play programs, and I'll get to that in a second. But ball hockey is a great place to get introduced to the fundamentals of the sport, where they can still run around, they can enjoy stick handling, shooting, learning hockey sense, but not have to worry so much about that skating skill in the very beginning. And that's going to take place on Mondays from October 2nd to December 11th. And in addition, for those who may have already started our program, this is another great place where you can continue to work on your skills like stick handling, which should be done off ice. There should be off ice practice as well because ice time is limited. And that's going to happen again on Mondays from October 2nd to December 11th from 6 to 7 p.m. at the Belleville Friendly House on 21 Frederick Street in Belleville. Now I'll go back to the first bullet point, which is Learn to Play clinics. Our Learn to Play clinics is the introduction to ice hockey. Now, we are going to have the introduction to ice hockey happen at Clary Anderson Arena. There are limited spots to that program. It will become a first come, first serve in order to participate in that program. That's where we'd be able to teach kids how to ice skate, teach them fundamental skills on the ice. When you register for our program, your registration is time-stamped. We will send something out asking you about your interests, whether it's in ball hockey only, ball hockey and ice hockey, what you would like to participate in or your child would like to participate in. And the opportunity will come depending on our how many spots we have left. If we fill those spots, we will begin a waiting list, and it will depend on the commitment of the child. Maybe the child decides, hey, I just like ball hockey and I don't want to learn this ice skating thing. It's a little too scary. It is different for every kid. So every kid has a unique situation. So that is our Learn to Play clinics. If you go down to our semi-travel and travel, this is where after you learn to ice skate, after you learn and our Learn to Play clinics, you graduate and you can start playing in our games, which is we call semi-travel and travel teams. In our games, we do more advanced training, and we are able to play in things we call the Super League, which is an intercity league. So the kids will form a team. It might be Montclair, Belleville, just Belleville, depending on how many kids we have in the program, how many kids we have at each age level, and they'll go play our Englewood program. They'll go play our Newark program. They'll go play our Jersey City program. And they play each other, and then they will eventually play for a championship. And along with that, we also joined some house leagues in the area. Montclair State Arena, we had teams over there. We were fortunate enough to have our U18 team make it to the championships, lose in it, but they did very well, and we were very proud of that. And another place we'll be playing is also in Menin this season. And in addition to that, we also, because of our partnerships with the NHL, the New Jersey Devils, we participate in Hockey is for Everyone program, where we get opportunities to play teams in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, in Harlem, in New York City, and we are able to compete at all different levels, depending on where your kid's skill is at and his age group. the next bullet is USA Hockey goalie specific coaching and training. Now, we partnered with USA Hockey because there is a deficit in goaltending at the moment. There are not as many goaltenders out there that they would like to fill teams. So they came to us. They knew we were a unique market. They are very excited about what we were able to accomplish in our cities, and they wanted to get involved with us because we could be the first program that they could maybe launch in other places, other states throughout the nation, and find more goalies, an untapped market of goalies. So we train goalies specifically. It's ran by the Atlantic District's goalie coach, Terry Jarkowski. He gives them goalie specific training, it increases their skills, and it gives them more opportunities to play at a higher level. The next bullet and the last bullet in our hockey program is our summer camps. But before I get into our summer camp, we're very, very lucky to have the partnerships we do with somebody like the New Jersey Devils. They're a tremendous partner, and they allow us the ability to be involved in a lot of events. Those events could be just tickets for our parents, tickets for their children, their families to attend hockey games. It could be an opportunity such as one we had this past year where our kids were able to see the Stanley Cup, they were able to touch it, they were able to take selfies with it, post on all their social media and brag about it, because it is one of the greatest trophies in sports, if not the most popular, well-known trophy in sports. And we're very lucky to be part of that. Another thing that they get to do is they sometimes get to meet and greet players. Some of the greatest players in the world, like Jack Hughes, who is right now arguably maybe a top 5 player in the NHL. He's a very popular right at the moment, and our kids were able to meet him. Some of them were able to skate on the ice with him, and also other players I could like to mention is Dougie Hamilton, who's another NHL All-Star. Their captain Nico Hischier, and so many more. So going back to our hockey camp, what happens is that the New Jersey Devils host a hockey camp at the Prudential Center, the home ice of New Jersey Devils. And we have a camp there that's not every participant is able to go to, because we do have, as Keith mentioned, 1,000 participants. We do have a commitment level that we like to see, an academic commitment, a athletic commitment, and those kids receive some of these other opportunities that we have. The hockey camp is somewhere where they get an NHL experience. They walk into the building, they go to the NHL locker rooms, they get nameplates, they sit in the stalls that the NHL players get dressed in. They get to work with the strength and conditioning coach of New Jersey Devils, their skills coach, and so many other things that they get to see that the New Jersey Devils actually use day to day in the facility. In addition, they get coaching from so many people. Devils alumni. We had the Paralympic gold medalist Jack Wallace come. Keith and one of our goals are to make this sport inclusive for everybody, no matter your socioeconomic status, no matter your physical disability or ability, mental ability, or disability. We truly want everybody to be able to participate in this sport and try it, because we believe that there's so much that you can get from this sport. And Jack Wallace is one of those inspirations that show kids, no matter what's your situation, you can make the best of it. And he was able to come and coach our kids and be part of it. And other people such as USA Hockey's women's team's gold medalist, Amanda Pelkey, Shelly Picard, who was with us day to day at one time. She was there at almost all of our clinics. We also were able to get people such as Jack Hughes on the ice, as we mentioned before. Dougie Hamilton was on the ice with our kids. We're actually playing street hockey with our kids at one time, and they're able to meet and greet these people at our camps as well. One last person I'd like to mention actually too there, one of our board members and also president of New Jersey Devils, we're very proud to say, is part of our program, and he also makes guest appearances to our kids as well, and he could also give them some leadership talks, etc., that we'll go into in a few moments.
Dennis, if I could jump in real quick. Great job as always. The one thing I wanted to touch on is the fact that in terms of the Learn to Play clinic, if any of you have access to public skating, like if you're not sure right now, well, my kid wants to do ball hockey, but he's kind of worried about ice hockey. The best thing you can do is go out there and go public skating, let him or her skate a little bit and get used to it and see if they even like it. If they like it, chances are they're going to love playing ice hockey. The second thing I want to touch, and there's a lot of great questions in the queue. Well, please know we're not ignoring you at all. We're going to get to all the questions at the end of the presentation. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Dennis.
No, by all means. Great point. You can go to the next slide. So our approach, as we said before, no experience is needed whatsoever. We will teach a kid to play hockey, whether they're 6 years old, which is a great time to start, or if they're 18 years old. It doesn't matter, because you can get so much from this sport, as we said before. As Keith said, again, this is all about fun. It is a game we're teaching them. It's a great positive environment they can be in, and get rid of that energy in a nice positive way. And at the same time, learn so many things, such as we were saying before: hard work, commitment, discipline, overcoming adversity. And we're going to do that in an environment where we're going to tailor everything to the individual's abilities. So if they're just beginning, we would tailor our coaching to them. And also, if they are very skilled, where we have kids play junior hockey, which is a very high level hockey for those who don't know, go on to college and play. We had several people come from our program to play college hockey. We will also work with them as well and be able to tailor our programming to their needs as well. We would love our kids to set goals, and we want them to be able to develop and reach those goals someday. We also, in our programming, as far as the free programming goes that you've seen before, we offer, we give them their uniform, we get them the skates. The coaching is for free. It's all going to be coaches who are USA Hockey certified. They will serve as mentors, and they truly have to have the same philosophy that Keith and I have, as far as focusing on sportsmanship, teamwork, and all those soft skills I mentioned, making sure that they find teachable moments on the ice, teach the kids things that sportsmanship. So we create an environment that's in the end safe, not just physically safe, but in the end, it's going to be mentally safe, emotionally safe. And the kids want to come there every day to learn and be part of their peers. Keith and Guy can say that one of the greatest things, and Albert can too, because he played the game for a while, one of the greatest things about hockey is actually the locker room. The camaraderie, the friendships you develop, they're second to none. As you see, Keith, one of my best friends in the world here, we're still friends today, and it's really because of ice hockey. I saw him with a jersey on campus, and conversation happened. We both found out we were going out for the hockey team, and next thing you know, we're friends for life. So doing this 21 years later. So it's truly, truly a special thing. Next part I'm going to go to, and again, as Keith said, if you have any questions about the programming, again, type it in that Q&A box, and we're going to answer those all at the end. The next part, which is not secondary, it's equal or more important to our children, is going to be our academic portion. We hired somebody who is a high school teacher. She teaches honors. Her name is Pamela Carmen. She's also an adjunct professor at NJIT, as well as Essex County College, and she is running this academic portion of our programming for us. We call it academic enrichment programming. This is going to be offered to every single participant, every single participant, and it's truly to make sure that we are developing the whole child, as we said before. This portion is we truly want to develop all skills. So it's going to be a portion where you can get tutoring help with your homework. Maybe something you're not doing well on a test, because we said we collect report cards and we may see that they're not doing very well in a certain subject, and offer them extra math help or extra help in language arts. And you could sign up for a tutoring session, this is all going to be virtual for Belleville, and you'll be able to get into your time slot, and the kid would be able to bring his work, and they will help them work through their academic struggles or to improve what they're already strong on. Another part of that is just academics, but it's also, we will be having something called life skills sessions. This can be something that's hockey related, such as health and nutrition, how to make sure you fuel your body correctly, how to recover correctly, and also something as injury prevention. So injury prevention, make sure they're warming up their bodies correctly, cooling down after their practices and games correctly. And we've partnered with RWJ Barnabas to help us teach those sessions. Other things that you may get is leadership sessions, as we mentioned. So we're going to have sessions that will time management from a D1 hockey player may come down, and he's going to teach the kids about how important it is to be a student athlete, student first, then athlete. Because honestly, when you're going through the recruiting process, they want to know how they're doing in school. They want somebody who's going to be there from freshman year through senior year and wants them to be able to show that they are well-rounded, not just somebody who's just focused on their athletics all the time. They're able to manage their time by being a great student in high school, because it will only become harder in college and being a college athlete. You can move to the next slide, Al. So our approach is going to be each participant submits their report cards at the very beginning. We're going to review them. We're going to identify their academic standing, and we're going to offer opportunities to improve on those places they may have weaknesses. In addition, this is open for everybody. So this is another resource for everybody, for all of our participants, no matter whether they're a great student or they're a struggling student. It's because, again, Keith and I spoke about how expensive this sport is, and we also know getting tutoring help can be expensive. Getting your student these certain resources, again, are something that's just not available for everybody. So we want to remove those barriers as well, so everybody can have the opportunity to make sure their kids are getting these extra supports. They would get these individual tutoring sessions. Again, they're going to be online. We would have a schedule developed. That schedule would be emailed to you as well as be on our website, which we're going to emphasize later. This is going to be the place that you can find your schedule for ice hockey, when our tutoring is available, all of our programming. So I know we're going through a lot today. You can go back and look at our website and see exactly what we have to offer. And then you'll also be able to get some updates that Al will be talking to in a few moments. So we will also have something what we call a progress report program for those kids we're going to require, and we would ask to be part of the academic portion because maybe they're struggling in school. And our goal is for them to improve. We don't expect every student to be a straight A student. I wasn't a straight A student. I know Keith definitely wasn't a straight A student. And but we did well enough to go through college, to graduate, to get a diploma and become teachers ourselves, and hopefully being able to pass down our knowledge that is going to make them better student athletes as well. So again, I just want to emphasize that any questions you have on that, please type it into the chat and we'll be able to answer those at the end. Al, you want to go to the next? So I'm going to turn it over to Albert. Thanks, Albert.
Yep. Thank you, Dennis. As Dennis mentioned, my name is Albert Gregorio, and I'm the manager of hockey operations with Hockey in New Jersey. Like Dennis and Keith, hockey was always my true love, my passion. I got decent enough grades, but the motivation was really for me to be able to get on the ice and play for my high school team and eventually my college team. And I originally started skating when I was 4 and started playing competitively from age 6 all the way through college, and even still playing a weekly recreational men's league. I first joined Hockey in New Jersey 10 years ago, back when it was just hockey in Newark. I was one of Dennis's travel players, and he approached me asking if I wanted to get involved with Hockey in Newark. And me thinking, more ice time, why not? I emphatically said yes and enjoyed every minute of it, being able to coach the younger kids and show them the fundamentals of hockey. Fast forward a handful of years, and when a full-time position with the organization opened up, I knew it was an opportunity I could not pass along. So now, as the manager of hockey operations with Hockey in New Jersey, I am in charge of all things hockey, whether it's the programming, the scheduling, the teams, making sure that each team has the necessary amount of players, the necessary equipment, and that there's volunteer coaches monitoring the teams and coaching the players to improve their skills and abilities. Part of that also includes managing and updating our website at hockeyinNJ.com. We like to call the website our Bible, since you can find all the information regarding Hockey New Jersey, whether it's the latest news updates, featured programs, schedules, and each team will have a specific portal and page. As a part of the website, we have an app through Sports Engine where you can log in through your players' portals and their teams and get the schedule right there on your phone. You can get updates, push notifications for upcoming games and practices right to your phone. And let's say if there's a storm coming in the winter and we have to cancel practices or cancel a game, you'll get the notification right to your phone through the app as well. We'll obviously still send out mass emails. We'll update the website, but it's just another way so you don't have to be constantly checking our website. You can get the notification right on your phone. And it's always important and a good idea to check the website because you never know what's going on. Like for instance, right now we are taking registration for the upcoming season, the Belleville season. It's important that you register your players before the equipment handouts so we know what equipment to bring, the sizes, and the quantity of equipment so we can properly equip all the players. Now, if you've asked any questions in the chat, we will be answering them now.
Yep. So there's a bunch here and a bunch of great questions. Thank you, Albert. First is, are you related to the Veltries and Nutley? No, I'm not. There's a Veltry that ends with I end in E. I get that a lot though. What age can you enroll? Ages 6 to 18. Can they do both ice hockey and ball hockey? 100%. In fact, we encourage it. What should I do if I can't access my kids' grades from 2002, 2023? We'll work with you. No, we're not going to turn any child away. We can get their first semester grades this year. Do you have this consolidated on paper? It was very hard for me to listen because of the other people in my household. You must be in my house with me right now, but yeah, excuse me. We're going to send this out, this whole entire presentation. And if you do need more information, we can send the PowerPoint to you, or we're just a phone call or an email away. So, excuse me, if there are no more questions, with all that being said, we do have to thank the Township of Belleville, specifically Mayor Mike Melham. So just to share a little with you, I played high school baseball with Mike Melham. Little did I know he wanted being the mayor of the town. He's a great person. He's a big part of the reason why this program is even in Belleville. We approached him again about it, and he was like, let's do it. I want it done. And when I tell you, he got it done within days. He got it done within days. All the work behind the scenes. So you're lucky to have a mayor like that. I just wanted to, give him and the entire council and the Township of Belleville a shout out. And in addition to that, your recreation department is phenomenal. And they're going to be hand in hand with us, and we can be more proud of that collaboration. Questions.
Well, one other thing I just wanted to mention before we get through the last questions. I did see in our registrations some Belleville residents actually registered in the Montclair registration. Please register in your town's registration. Yes, they will be playing some of them hockey in Montclair at Clary Anderson Arena. That's what they'll be taking part in their Learn to Play. But please make sure you register in your town. And then we will make sure that they're given the information for where they'll be playing ice hockey and where they'll be playing ball hockey again.
Yeah, and the last thing I like to leave on this note, don't feel intimidated by this program or a new sport at all. All these kids, every kid in our program started where your child's going to start, which is knowing nothing about hockey. Just like we heard in Newark, I hate to admit it, but I'm going to. There are people from your town that told me those kids don't want to play hockey in Belleville. I guarantee you they're all wrong. We can see by the participants who are on this call tonight. This Belleville program, we're starting with the ball hockey and the 1 day a week ice hockey, but it's up to us and the families in Belleville to make it even bigger and better. So this is just a step one, and what we hope to be a long journey in Belleville and in your kid's hockey career. Another question.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says, does my child have to be 6 now or turning 6 within the school year? Please register your child, and we will try our best to accommodate their age. One thing I could say, kids who are 4, 5, 6, a lot of it has to do with maturity, and some of them get on the ice and they're very, very afraid. They don't want mom to let them go, dad let them go. We will try. So please register a child, and we'll do our best, and we'll try to, to accommodate his age. So we don't want to turn him away because he's off a couple months. So please register. Again, register online. So there's 2 registrations. There is the registration that was for the webinar, but there is also the registration on our website where we collect all the information. If you didn't know their grades, and I know there's a grade portion, you could type in maybe what you think their grades were, if you remember, and then we'll make sure they collect it after the first quarter, the new one. Once you register, you'll receive more information. And not only register and get on our website as much as possible, as Al mentioned, please get on our social media as well. Our Instagram, our Facebook, and also our Twitter. I mean, these are all resources that you can go to and get more information about our program and see everything that's great that's going on with our program. And you'll be able to see more opportunities that we have.
There's another question. Hello, are there a lot of girls who participate in your program for 6-year-olds? So as a whole, throughout all 5 cities, we have a lot of girls. It's probably the number one in terms of participation increase. It's our girls program. We can't tell because we don't know what our registration numbers are. But whether it's a girl or a boy, they're going to be comfortable and have fun. I'm sure we'll get more girls too as this gets going. And by all means, tell your daughter to bring her friends. They're all welcome.
And I'll throw a real quick another note in there. Keith and I in Newark, we promote girls hockey, and we really had a lot of girls register throughout the years. They started with the boys, a lot of them, and we didn't have many, but it grew to a very large number of girls. We actually have at Newark Eastside High School in Newark now, one of the only, it's about 20 girls high school hockey teams in the state of New Jersey. And that includes all the high schools in New Jersey, whether it's a private school or it's a public school. And we're very proud that we're able to field our very own team with just Newark kids and compete against those schools.
Yeah. Looking for clarity, are you saying a child who is 4, going to be 5 this year, would have an opportunity to sign up? It's a little young. We need to see where our numbers are, but we can talk offline about that. If they have some, so when they're that young, we try to have a hard stop at 6 years old and not younger because the big age range from 6 to 18. If your child has some skating experience, we can talk. If they're brand new, that's going to be tough for going to 5. But let's see what our registration numbers are. Register your child, and then we can have a conversation offline. Okay, there are no more questions. So at this point, that's going to be the conclusion of our presentation. We're so excited to work with you, meet you and your children, and we'll see you either at the ball hockey game schedule. We'll see you at the equipment handout, or we'll see you on the ice. Can I enroll?
One last quick question, Belch, because it just popped up. I want to answer Jeanette. Yes, you can enroll both sons. And we actually had a family that had 7 kids in it at one time. So there you can register as many siblings as you want to. We welcome them. Thank you, everyone.
If you could bring one more son, we'll put them on the same line and call it a day. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for your time.